Alice in Chains! Thanks to you all who told me to listen to this lovely album. We've hit 1,000 subscribers. 1 million subscribers milestone next week. Like if you think we can hit it. Album we got here is Dirt from 1992. Post Nirvana, post Nevermind. I like Nevermind. That means we're probably going to enjoy this album as well. First track, Them Bones. Okay, immediately thrown right into the deep end. The moment you're greeted into this album, you were just pounded with chugging riffs and lyrics that feel like they were written in a room with your friends while laughing, but with a kind of dark undertone that gives the darkness like a unique comedic twist, which is characteristic of grunge if you've heard anything by Kurt Cobain. So I have a really good feeling that this album will pull no punches at all. Next track, Damn That River. I get a feeling that these lyrics weren't exactly written to be understood. Going through it, there was really nothing I could immediately pick up on, and looking for interpretations of it, you don't actually get any, solid meaning. But it's really easy to sing along to, so you'd be singing to it, and over time you'd kind of make up your own mind about what the lyrics are, which is what makes the song so fun. That's kind of the essence of grunge. Sonically, nothing I haven't seen before, you know? Just felt like it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Alright, next track, Rain When I Die. Oh yeah, this is definitely grunge. Hey, why are you coming back at me like that? I like the way that ended. I like that. There's a bit of Pearl Jam influence in there. You could hear at the beginning and the end and a little bit in the middle. The guitar was actually harmonizing with the vocalist, which I really just do not hear that often. And on the third track, we've got more of the same vocal work, which I'm actually a big fan of. The amateurish vocal work brings the listen to the same kind of mental level as the singer, which makes it accessible. It just sounds like something you could think and create. You can much more easily embed yourself in the song because it doesn't feel super alienating, like everyone playing is an absolute masterclass, but more like everyone playing is playing in a super down-to-earth way that you could grasp yourself. Alright, next track, Down in a Hole. A bit of a tone switch up here. Just super quickly, Lane and Jerry's vocals, they come together so brilliantly. You don't even really know it's two singers, but you know something's a little bit, out of the ordinary. Because it just sounds so friggin' great. There was a thing they did at the beginning. It feels like two guitars swimming together in a kind of way that doesn't completely differentiate a rhythm guitar and a lead guitar. Because it could quite possibly just be the same guitar, but I don't know. I'm not too sure what they did with the mixing there. It sounded really... It kept my ears intact, that's for sure. As someone who's unfamiliar with Alice in Chains, I don't even know if they have two guitarists. I might just be weird. Next track, Sick Man. Starting off with some drum solo. You do not know how much I vibed with that. In a good way, the lyrics really feel like they were just thrown together, but a little bit like how a grandma makes cooking and how it ends up tasting like really nice. Thousand eyes, a fly, lucky then I'd be, in one day deceased. It just feels like, grandma's cooking. She's got a messy ass kitchen, but somehow pumps out like the best tasting stuff, man. And they really resonate, especially with the really like tired and exhausting sounding vocals. And with the inherently obvious meaning, it actually feels like the song is living through that meaning as well. Like, it feels like it's half-assedly drudging along as if though it doesn't really think it has a reason to exist. It really, really absolutely sells this song to me. A bit like one of those emo teenagers that you see walking around with their hair covering one eye. I tell you what though, that emo kid needs to try some of grandma's kitchen. That made zero sense whatsoever. Next song, Rooster. Sonically, that could be my favorite track. It felt like really personal and vivid and raw. And I wish I got the metaphor for Rooster. I can't figure out what that is. The album cover. That's what this song sounds like. And I really like when album covers do that. Because it kind of helps you like feel the music a little bit more. Despite not knowing what the hell it was about. It kind of made me feel a bit sad. I like it. It feels super sad without dragging you through the lowest, deepest chords, like how Something in the Way does on the album Nevermind. It just feels like genuinely personal. That's what makes a song truly sad. This is why I like grunge, people. This is why I'm wearing this. Alright, next song, Junkhead. I wonder what this song's about. Immediately understanding the thoughts and ideas behind this song, and I really truly think it's unfortunate. Guess it makes the song more true than it could have been, and I wish which made that the case wouldn't be, you know, what happened. Sonically, well, the thing that really strikes me about this one is the bass, because it gives it like this clunk, clunk, clunk kind of thing going on. I can't exactly single out any parts, but I just kind of like felt throughout the length of the song. There's not really much words I can really throw in here. Like, I mean, it just sounds good. What else do you want me to say?
Yo,
What an Anthony Fantano name are you listening to, bro?
Kids See Ghost.
You're listening to Kids See Ghost. Next song, Dirt. Excellent chord choice. And despite being the title track of their most commercially successful album, I can immediately see why this didn't receive much radio airing. And it feels a little bit honest in a kind of unsettling, bad way. Not to put the song in a negative light, but more just like the meaning of it. Man, and that those chords. Yeah. Yeah. But more of that drudginess that I've become quite fond of, actually, in this album. Next track, Godsmack. That rhymed. Next track, Godsmack. Yo, ay. Cannot forget what you have for the horse. What in like a knife. Instead of a comment for this song, I have a bit more of a comment with that song to make about the whole album, which we'll get to at the very end of this video. Sonically, that riff, good stuff. Alright, next we've got an interlude track, Untitled. Bit of a nitpick, I wish I put that earlier on in the album. For the next couple of tracks, if it serves some purpose, I don't really exactly see a reason for the song existing, at least in this part of the album. Like, a lot of interludes kind of just serve as like a break or like a kind of stopping point for people. So they'd usually put them like near the middle of the album, but this one's coming more towards the end. Like, if I really analyze the lyrics, I could probably understand why it's here, but other than that, I'm not exactly sure of this song's existence. Alright, next track, Hate to Feel. Hello Climax. In the verses, like verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, the vocalist and the guitarist are really passing the mic there to see who sounds better, and honestly, each time, it was just great. There's some harmonics in there, a little bit of guitar voice harmonizing there, and honestly, they really just complemented each other. Looking outside of like that specific part, like, I couldn't really lie to you guys. I would just say that this song, I was honestly just waiting for it to end over other tracks, despite not being the longest one on the album. That title goes to Rooster, and honestly, I could listen to that for 12 minutes. Alright, next track, Angry Chair. Regardless, and this is metaphoric for either life in prison or just life in general, you know, deciding between the two will tell me exactly enough about you to know if I'll become depressed being with you or not. I have a lot of appreciation for the title now, because it feels a lot more personal, kind of like the relationship I have with the song Rooster on this album. It just feels like a lot more personal rather than funny, because honestly, I do think the title of the song is pretty funny. In and out of context, I think it's hilarious. But in context, it does make sense. Sonically, there wasn't really too much going on. Like, you know, a lot of this album, like, it does sound a little bit like some of the other tracks I've heard, which gives it a bit of a consistency, you know. Alright, final track, Wood, question mark. Bass. Bass. Like, that song felt like it ended too early, but like, I feel like that was intended. It is an incomplete album in the sense that everything is completed, but it ends just too early. It's really thought-provoking. I have no idea what it means, but it's thought-provoking. Honestly, poetic. I'm a big fan of that. I thought that was I think it's really interesting. It's something to think about. It gives the album a bit of food for thought. Vocally, sublime. It was friggin' awesome vocal performance. I can see why this is the most popular on the album. Absolutely. Looking here, apparently the song concerns the late lead singer of Mother Love Bone, Andrew Wood, and Wood being like a homophone for Wood, question mark, the song title. I think that's funny. I think this album in general likes to put a lot of like slightly comedic spins on really dark things. Overall review, overall thoughts for Alice in Chains. I have a feeling that the lyrics on this album were a little bit more honest than the singer had intended. It feels a lot like cry for help or like some kind of vent. It felt like a lot more. This album was really just like an honest note. He just opened his journal and presented to the world. That's what it feels like to me. Like the actual life of Lane rather than just an album which has got bits and pieces which relate to him. This album really goes deeper to the topic of substance abuse, And it really greatly represents the time in which it came out, given like the bulk of songs that will discuss this kind of thing that came out in the early 90s. Like, it seems like that's all that anyone was really singing about. We just gotta remember that a lot of these guys are born in like the early 70s, sometimes even the late 60s. And the large wave of songs with this topic really just came way too late. Just too late to end what became the catastrophic and horrific end to tens of thousands of people who have gone through the same thing that Lane, unfortunately, had to go through during, obviously, the time of recording this album through to his unfortunate passing. Off topic on what the album really speaks of, if we're looking at how it sounds, I think that the album, aside from a couple of tracks like Sick Man and Untitled and Them Bones, I thought the album had like a bit of consistency to it. I would say samey. You could spin any word which way you want. It doesn't really take or add too much from the album. Now, as far as favourite tracks go, I'm going to have to definitely say Them Bones and Rooster. They've got views for a reason, let's be real. Them Bones has got some great attitude, friggin' throws you right into the deep end the moment you start the album, and honestly just sounds really great. For a shortcut, amazing song. Rooster, like I already said, it just had this really personal sound to it. And it's for my favourite song. This might come as a surprise to some of you, but Sick Man was actually my favourite song on the album. While it doesn't offer as much as some other songs on this album, I feel like, to me personally, it offered a lot, because that's the kind of song that I just really dig. It's just got like a lot of changes to it, and it's got like this really deep attitude that not many other parts of this album were really able to reach. But yeah, that's basically it. Dirt by Alice in Chains. Thank you guys for sticking around to this point. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you later. Peace.